Hey, Dr. Synthetic, what's up? What's up, man? Dr. Synthetic. Had to turn that off, but all right, what up, YouTube, man? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Muggs back on the ones and twos, man. We got something to talk about, man. And I figured I would do this video in light of the winter update that's coming in tomorrow. My boy Jimmy, MDZ Jimmy, Ryu Extraordinaire, posted up a video about Ryu finally getting buffs. I know that's clickbait, but we gonna look at it anyway. And basically, I'm gonna let it rock, and then I'm gonna give off my opinion. And yeah, that's what we gonna do. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get it.
Think Ryu should be getting or maybe not getting. So yeah, this is going to be just a couple of thoughts. Now, before we talk about the new balancing, let's talk about the new battle mechanic. Now, this is something that has been discussed a lot, and I think a lot of people agree. A new critical art for every character is the most likely thing Capcom is going to add. It's a low risk option for Capcom because it doesn't impact the balancing that much, and at this point, right at the end of the life cycle of a game, do you really want to introduce a major change when it comes to the gameplay portion that could potentially make the balancing a lot worse? I'm not quite sure if Capcom wants to do that, so I think a new critical art is just like an
You know, I think Jimmy already's going in this thing with low expectations. Um, but he's I will say, man, that man can surely sell a video with his thoughts. But back to it.
easy thing for them to add without.
Oh yeah, and one more thing about them adding critical arts. No, that's not necessarily a bad thing because most of the critical arts already they have about just about the same power, 350 to 400 damage depending on what's going on. So you gotta assume that if they do add new critical arts, then it's probably gonna be likely the same thing. But we'll see.
Having to deal with massive balancing issues. Now, that being said, I think it's the most boring option to add to the game. Obviously, as a competitive player, I would like to see something else. I would like to see the game play differently, but at the same time, as I said, I don't think Capcom wants to take a lot of risks. Unless, now here's an interesting thought, unless they want to try something for Street Fighter 6. We kind of had that with Street Fighter 4. Omega
Oh,
mode
Street
was
Fighter 6 ain't even
introduced,
been.
I think.
All right, with the Capcom leaks, if anybody can remind me, was Street Fighter 6 already leaked out? I think it was. What's up, Black 8? We just reacting to this Jimmy video real quick. So it won't be a long stream. I'm gonna just commentate this thing and then that's it.
With Ultra Street Fighter 4. I'm not quite sure when exactly they added that, but like pretty much at the end of the life cycle of Street Fighter 4. So that was added specifically to experiment with some ideas that ended up actually making it into Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 adopted a lot of...
You know what, Chuck? And you might be right about that too. You think he kind of knows what's gonna happen, or are they kind of using him to, do you think they are kind of using him to build up the winter update?
Of ideas from Omega mode. So maybe something similar is going to happen here. Maybe we're going to have it as a separate mode.
I tried to sign up for it, and they didn't even talk. They didn't even call me back.
With the real game,
they didn't even send me an email back, man.
Potentially, they're going to add a mechanic that really fundamentally changes the gameplay. That is an idea that they're trying to, try to get right for Street Fighter 6. And honestly, this could actually happen. If you think about it, even though a new critical art would be a low-risk option in terms of like not messing with the balancing, at the end of the day, does it really matter if you mess with the balancing a lot right now, or like right at the end when people, when we're so close to Street Fighter 6, people are gonna play.
Duly noted, but we're not even that close to Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is what, 2022, 2023? Yeah, we're not close at all. We're still about a year and a half. So if they add something, at least give the game some more life for another year, year and 6, year and a half, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Tournament play will probably be back in 2022. So it's got to fundamentally kind of keep the game fresh up until Street Fighter 6. I don't think Capcom would want to let the game simmer or die a year before Street Fighter 6 come out. But, we talking about Capcom.
Play Street Fighter 6 afterwards anyway.
You say, I think it's I think it's a third CA because in the extra battle, Ryu has Shinryuken. I can't say that. Right.
So even if they mess with the balancing, it might not be a big deal, and it's going to add a lot of excitement on top of that.
Well, what they said. Remember what they said when they first brought out the balancing patch. They're gonna do a balance patch now, and then they're gonna do a balance patch when they bring out the third character, and then they're gonna do a winter balance patch. Right.
Maybe they're going to add some fundamental changes to Street Fighter 5. I personally would love to see a cancel mechanic, for example. I think a cancel mechanic similar to Street Fighter 4 would be awesome. Maybe without the focus attack portion. I think the focus attack itself was actually a bad idea, but FADC was fantastic. It was really a phenomenal gameplay element to Street Fighter 4, and I think FADC single-handedly sold Street Fighter 4 for a lot of players. It made...
Now, I don't know nothing about what he's talking about, but...
really interesting, and hopefully we can see something similar like that. Maybe in Street Fighter 6, but maybe as an experiment in Street Fighter 5 right now at the end of the life cycle of the game, right? So that would be interesting. So now let's talk about the balancing of Street Fighter 5 and the upcoming patch. How are they going to buff Ryu? Now, this is one of the most frequent questions that I currently get when I'm live streaming on Twitch. So let's talk about that.
I'm pretty sure. I hope this is the meat and potatoes of the video.
Seen it, you can watch it up here. Click the link there, or just watch it.
You said Alex say focus attack and dash cancels. I just want them to buff Ryu hitbox on normals, or at least make them faster. Not all of them. Not all of them. I will say, I would say I would love solar plexus to be maybe 13. No, not 13 frames. Probably about maybe 14 to 15 frames. I would love for solar plexus to be like 13 or 14 frames instead of 17. But I digress.
Picture right here, so you get some context to what I'm about to say. So as you can see, Ryu is like lower mid-tier, something like that. The picture is horizontally organized.
So in order for them to make a true strain with Fireball, they would have to kind of lower the lower the startup of crouching medium. I think crouching medium need to be 5 frames. Cause what is it right now? What is crouching medium startup right now? Let me look up on FAT. 7 frames. So it only links with standing medium punch. I think it would need to be at least 5. 5 frames. 5 frames and oh, okay. Yeah, if it's, let me see. Standing. Okay, let's look at it. Standing. If you wanted it to be a true block string, then you would probably have to want it to be, it would still leave a 4 frame gap. So you would probably have to make it 5 frames. If they don't change the frame data on hit, it's still going to leave like a 4 frame gap, but it'll at least be a tighter 4 frame gap. It would, like, at least I would say if it's going to leave a tighter 4 frame gap, I would at least want it to trade. But like for characters like Laura or G that can just lay out a standing light punch into a 300 damage combo, hell no.
As well.
Yeah,
so from left to right, strongest to weakest. Ryu isn't particularly strong on this list, but he's also not bottom 5. I think a lot of people wrongfully put him in bottom 5. I think he has some stuff going for him, but it's not really good enough for him to be like a really viable option for tournaments. So how could you change that? Now, there are a lot of things that I have in mind where you could buff him. One area that I do like him getting a nerf, however, is his V-trigger. This is something where a lot of like...
Hold up, Jimmy. Hold up. All right. I'm going to listen to his point.
Will immediately be shocked when
What's up, Spittle? Good morning, man.
I'm not really suggesting a nerf because I think Ryu is particularly strong. Obviously, I'm not. I just showed you I don't think he's a really good character, but I think his V-trigger 1 is not really in line with what Ryu is supposed to do. Ryu is supposed to be a more defensive character. His V-trigger 1 is specifically one of the more recent patches where they buffed Ryu's V-trigger activation so it doesn't cost V-Gauge to throw a fireball. That one in particular made his V-trigger 1 a bit too strong. It made Ryu into a really aggressive character, and that's not really what Ryu is supposed to do. So honestly, I'd like to see that change reverted. But if you're gonna make Ryu weaker when it comes to the V-trigger, then you gotta give him something else, right? So where could you buff Ryu? His normals are pretty disappointing. I think a lot of people agree on that. One thing that I disagree usually is giving Ryu like one normal that just dominates and is useful for everyone.
No. We gotta stop it right there, Jimmy. We gotta stop it right there, man. Like, hold up, man. Where my glasses at, bro? I ain't got none. Let me pretend to put some on. I think I want to speak for the Ryu Council of Hado, and ask Jimmy, what hast thou been smoking? Like what? Like what is Jimmy like? Why would you want it to be nerfed? It's actually strong. The V-trigger 1 is actually strong. The only thing is how many seconds, how quick it leaves. Well, this is blasphemy on the highest level. And you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect for Jimmy. Man. But I gotta ask you, man, before you got on this video, man, what, you know what I'm saying, was you hitting the doobie? Was you hitting the doobie? No, man, V Trigger 1 is fine. It's fine. I don't think nobody in the chat actually thinks it's bad. So how was it? Like, right, right. I mean, give Ryu some aggressive element. Yeah, right. Those fireballs are more defensive than offensive because it's a keep away tool. It's a counter poke. You know what I'm saying? Higher level Ryu play uses that as a counter poke. So if you got a V trigger that enhances that, then Ryu goes from defense to offense. But let's see.
Everything. Some people suggest the back hard kick of Ryu, for example, to be +2, which is ridiculous. I can't stress this enough. Like, people keep suggesting changes to Ryu's normals that would basically take away any reason to use some of the other normals, and this is what I really dislike. If you're gonna buff one normal and then you take away all other normals, like the reason to exist for those normals, then
for real, final Getsuga Tenshu.
Change. You're just making one normal way too strong. So yeah, don't give back hard kick +2 properties. You will never be using crouching medium punch as a frame trap tool afterwards because it's completely useless at that point. So yeah, I don't like that. What I do like, however, is maybe a buff in when it comes to the range of crouching medium kick. It was buffed in the more recent patches. It was actually buffed, but I still think it's pretty bad. Like, Ryu is supposed to have a pretty good crouching medium kick, and I don't think it's quite there yet. I don't like Ryu's sweep. I think Ryu has a really bad...
Alright, so crouching medium kick, I still think they need to extend it a little bit. Nah, I haven't watched that video yet. I haven't watched it. I mean, if y'all want to, we can go through 2.5 hours right after this. Shoot, cause I think I think Chun can punish that. If I'm not mistaken. I think a few characters can punish Ryu's crouching medium. Right. So, and his sweep, I do think they need to extend his sweep. Cause I did the trials in season 1 Ryu, and you can do crouching medium, crouching light punch, standing medium punch, hard, and then what was it? No, crouching light to light punch to standing medium, and then go for a sweep. I would say man, look, if you gonna do that, I mean, his stun is already good, but I think the lightning aspect of his V Trigger 1 should extend to his kicks also. It should extend to his kicks. It shouldn't just be punch. Like, I think it should make his whole entire move set either faster or stronger. It's sweet, yeah. Cause so now you got an option, at least for a knockdown. You ain't gotta, do all these hit confirms anymore.
Bad sweep.
Hey, but let's listen to Batman.
Considering he's a character that's supposed to play the footsie battle, this is something I'm a bit confused about. Why he doesn't get a strong sweep or an okay sweep. One of the things that Ryu's supposed to do is play the footsie battle, bait out normals, whiff punish your opponent, and get an advantage like that. Why is his sweep 8 frames? Like, it could be 7 frames, just like Guile, for example. Guile, and Daigo has shown this really effectively, you can whiff punish really well with 7 frame normals. And I would like to see that with Ryu as well. It would make
If they
playing the
do
footsie
his
battle a little
his
bit more
sweep, they gonna might do a lot.
rewarding. Now,
I agree
there's
with
one
him here.
change that I really love when someone I don't even know who suggested it at this point, but shout outs to whoever said it on Twitch. Back hard kick of Ryu. Make the second hit an overhead. But only
You know
if
what? Nah, I feel him right there. I feel him right there. He's right about that. In older Street Fighters, the second hit was always an overhead, right? If I'm not mistaken, because they do that for Urien. And I think Yuri, does Yuri, like, you shouldn't be able, like, the way the mechanic goes, the way the sweep goes. Hold up. So the way the sweep goes, I should. Now, I do agree with him about this, because it don't make sense how Urians turn into an overhead. Well, we have to change our block stance to block it. But like, I think standing up you can block Urian's back hard kick, but if you don't, but it hits you on crouching. But I still feel like Ryu needs, like, I do like that. Like, I will say that. Cause I thought in the older Street Fighters that Ryu's back hard kick always hit crouching opponents. I thought it was like an overhead type of move. Cause it's weird, like a lot of characters have not just one overhead. Like Karen has more than one overhead. Cammy has more than one overhead. I think. I'm not sure. All right.
first it hit whiffs. The idea is if you use the back hard kick mid-screen, only the second hit will connect, right? It would open up this weird gameplay for Ryu where the opponent can't just hold down back
Right.
and well, play like that comfortably. In a lot of cases when I'm playing against certain characters like Karen, for example, who has a really dominating footsie game compared to Ryu, Ryu doesn't have anything to get Karen scared of anything, right? Crouching medium kick of Ryu, as I said, is not strong enough. It's just somewhat weak. You can't really play the footsie battle like that. But the back hard kick actually has really good range. And it's slow, so that's the risky part. It's slow, which is why I don't recommend it as a footsie tool. But if the second hit is an overhead, you get a mix-up. You can basically trick your opponent. You can make your opponent guess between the crouching medium kick as a low attack or the back hard kick as an overhead option. That would be very powerful. And at the same time, though, in line with Ryu's gameplay. Ryu is supposed to be a character that is a little bit more defensive. So the axe kick, the back hard kick, would be a footsie tool, right? And I really like that. You wouldn't gain a massive advantage. You can't just cancel into any special move and expect that to work consistently.
Right.
It's a risk that you're taking. So I like that a lot. It would open up some more possibilities for Ryu. So yeah, those are my thoughts regarding the Ryu balancing and what I hope to see. So let's talk about some other stuff that is happening with the winter update. Dan obviously is we're gonna get more information on Dan, but at this point we actually have quite a lot of information about him.
I think it's gonna be more about Rose
because they have specific.
One thing I will say, I really do believe that they're going to bring Rose and Dan at the same time. That's why I think they're gonna surprise us with. They're gonna surprise us with Rose and Dan, 2 characters. Since Capcom Cup didn't go down in December, this is kind of maybe their way of saying like, hey, I know we promised December, but we're gonna give you guys 2 characters because it's almost March, and I think she was supposed to come out in March or something like spring.
There's going to be new information about Rose, so I'm really curious about that. since I used to play Rose in Street Fighter 4 as a secondary character. I had her as a strong counterpick option. Some German players used to say that my Rose was actually stronger than my Ryu in Street Fighter 4. So, yeah, it should be an interesting
I like Rose's character design, but I like Rose's character design. She makes me like, I like her character design. I might play with Rose.
So, yeah, I hope to see a trailer.
Hey, I think Rose would be a perfect counterpick for Poison. Her moveset, as I remember in the Alpha series, which was the last time I played with her. I think it'd be a nice counterpick to Poison.
Maybe that's going to be a little bit too optimistic, but they could probably pull it off. Supposedly, Rose is going to make it in spring of... right, spring. That's the official time frame.
Spring.
For Rose.
It's almost
so
March.
That's not
so
too
it's
far off.
Right.
So
right.
Maybe we're going to see a trailer. That would be awesome if we could.
We'll see a trailer, and I think they're going to bring both out. I think I'm calling it.
Regarding Dan, I'm not quite sure what to expect about Dan. Dan seems like a really fun character. He's always been a fun character, and I will definitely play him when the winter update, when the patch drops. So when is that going to happen? I'm expecting the patch to drop February 21st or 22nd. That will be right after the Capcom Cup finals. Like, it's not really Capcom Cup anymore, right? I think Capcom Season Final, that's what they called it, right? I'm not quite sure about it, but you know what I mean. There's going to be an event, and I expect the patch to drop right after that event. I think that's the most reasonable time frame to expect this patch to go live. Some people are suggesting it's going to be right after the winter update tomorrow, the announcement. I don't think so. It doesn't really make sense to put out the patch right now and then a week later have people who qualified for Capcom Cup play characters, like completely different versions of characters that they qualified in or qualified for. I think that really doesn't.
I don't think.
So I'm expecting.
Like, I'll be honest, I don't think the pros will have no issues with that. The pros won't have no issues with that. It'll be a lot to prepare for, all those changes. But I don't think. I think the pros will just play with the character as if before the patch. That's all I would say.
The patch to drop right after this finals event thing. So yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are regarding this winter update. What are you expecting from Dan, from Rose, from the new balancing, the new mechanic that is going to drop? What do you want Capcom to do with Ryu? Any and all thoughts in the comments below. Remember, like, this is potentially the last big patch that we're going to get before Street Fighter 6 drops. I mean, there's going to be supposedly, according to the roadmap, where
right. Like, listen, look at it. It said it's going to be a new balance mechanic and a new balance and a new battle balance, right? So we're going to have all year, and then in fall of 2021, which is like August. So let's say the August update. The August update is going to be another balance patch. And plus, right, it ain't really nothing on the line. You know what I'm saying? It was like you got in the Capcom Cup because of like fan voting. It was like nobody really earned it. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, whoever wins, I don't think people will be like, good job, Sailor. You know?
See another balance patch before Street Fighter 6 or before whatever happens after Street Fighter 5, but this is like the biggest patch for sure before the next generation, because this is the last time we're gonna get a new battle mechanic. So yeah, what are your thoughts around that? What are your expectations? Do you think Street Fighter 5 is in a good place? Any and all thoughts, as always, down below. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Join me tomorrow on Twitch. As I said, I'm
a head-to-head thing,
the winter update live as an official co-streamer, so definitely do not miss out. So guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.
All right, that was a good video by Jimmy. I think there was like, we already explained it in the video. There was like a couple things I had issues with, especially with the V-Trigger 1 getting nerfs. I disagree with that. The back hard kick, being able to hit crouch, I agree with that. Man, if they could, you know what I'm saying, what's wishful thinking is that they would extend some of the hitbox on Ryu's normals. He said it was a sponsored video by Capcom. Yeah. Jimmy normally don't do talking head videos like that. He normally don't. But man, I agree with him, man. Like, I need to do a reaction to right. I was thinking about co-streaming it, but I was thinking about doing it on Discord. They can't get me on Discord. They can get me on YouTube, but they can't get me on Discord. Hopefully. Nah, man, I just want 100,000 subscribers, man. I don't care about winning a tournament. They ain't even respect my credentials. Hell no, I'll never be corporate. I don't want nobody being able to control my mouth. I want to be able to pop off. I still want to be able to be a critic where I need to be. You'll never see a corporate mugs. Never. I come to the corporate dinner in some suspenders with some ice cream, with an ice cream cone, and yelling in the crowd. Damn, Orlovsky! And do a reaction right after, cause tomorrow I have to go get an MRI on my knee. So I'll watch it, do a reaction afterwards, and man, I really need to get my hair done. Y'all know I'm retarded. I do some crazy stuff, man. Y'all know I'm retarded. Now, I think up next, what I want to do is because I haven't watched it in its entirety. I haven't watched this in its entirety, but I do want to react to this. It's 2 hours. So like if I do a reaction to this, like I don't think I'm gonna stop it too much. But I do want to have a chance to kind of chime in. But yeah, I think officially I've only watched about 20 minutes of it. But I definitely will do this. I will do it. But yeah, man. So after this stream, man, post your comments down below. Let me know what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Y'all know the slogan, man. Win, lose. Stay grinding, man. Peace out. I want to give a heavy shout out to everybody that's in the Zero Division, liking the video, watching out for the video, man, and I appreciate you guys, man. So post your comments down below. Let me know what you think, man, and don't forget to always pull out that sword and go, Bankai!